Salutations! Welcome to a new speedpaint, this time without script, so it's gonna be messy. And by messy, I mean absolutely perfection, because definitely did not talk to myself for 16 minutes and suddenly realized that I wasn't recording the entire time. Anyways, yeah. I read a fanfic and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's so good. It's Human Error by Teeth Eater, and I'm a huge fan of the humans are space orcs genre, so that's why this was such a nice read, especially with found family. Ooh boy, that hits the spot absolutely. So I decided to hey, you know what, I'll make my own designs of these characters because I wanted to try doing non-human designs as a practice, you know. So that's how I decided to do this. This whole 6 pages took so long, and I wanted it to look like a digital illustration. A digital sketchbook. Yeah. It's been a while since I did digital bullet journals. So here you go. Here's Tommy, big man. Absolutely love how this dude is characterized in the fanfic and his development. It was absolutely heartwarming. My favorite chapter of him was definitely gotta be the dancing singing chapter. I'm normally not a fan of songfics, not at all, but I was listening to the songfic for this one with the song in the background while I was reading it, and it just hit so nicely. It was just so soft, and they were just sharing music with the people you love, and your family, and dancing and sharing parts of his culture. Oh, there we go. Here's Tommy. He loves golden apples and will flip you off. Here's his best bud, Tubbo. Let's go, beloved. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this design. His eyes are on his cheeks, so he'd still look human-ish without being human, you know. And also buff bow supremacy. I'm not that good at drawing muscles, but I'm doing my best, okay? I like how the clothes turned out in this one. I decided to give him a halter top because I just love halter tops. I love wearing them and drawing them. Yeah. And I think that it would fit for his wings better because I don't really like when wing holes, because I don't know, I feel like it's just not the vibe, especially when the wing holes are so small that they don't even fit the largest part of the wing. Plus, I don't think that Tubbo would have that flexible of a wings, so shoving his wings into wing holes would be pretty troublesome, so I was like, no thank you. I had fun doing the overalls because because it made me think, okay, how am I supposed to do overalls for backless? I gave him steel-toed work boots because he's working boy, can't have damaged feet, and stingers on his hands. They work because apparently there's gloves that have their knuckles open, so that's cool. And what else was here? I found out a lot of facts about bees while researching this. They can taste with their hands and smell with their feet. Okay. And the tool belts. Harness only works in front because can't hinder with the back. Here's your B-boy, beloved. Let's go. Next up, we have Phil's a Minecraft. Ignore the legs, they're horrendous. I did not use a reference. Y'all should use a reference. Don't be like me. And also, sorry for the skip. I forgot to hit record. Here's the next part, which is Secretary Birds. Secretary Birds are so cool, guys. They're so pretty, and they can beat up snakes. That's so cool. Next up, the design here, I went with a captain hat instead of a bucket hat because he's a captain. Tried a bicorn hat, wasn't working. And His feathers instead of hair look was inspired by Hal's moving castle. He has 2 buckles to make his shirt open at the side. Yeah, because there is no way that sleeves would fit those arms, not at all. Throat communicator, because communication is important, especially since he's the captain. And I understand that those elbow bone things are actually fingers when it comes to bats, but I simply do not want to draw that. I want to do elbow bones. So that's how it is. And I gave him a swan neck because I thought that would be cool and non-human. My favorite part of this has got to be the necklace, which was, that chapter was so good. It was so exciting and like heart pounding. That's the word I was looking for. And Phil just hovering over them, watching over them. Nice touch, nice touch. And he's standing like that because bats actually stand like that. Bats stand so polite. They just have their hands in front of them. They're bats, beloved. They're so cute and polite. Yeah. I tried to give him like a secretary bird mask thing, but it wasn't working out. Not at all. Yeah. That's how it is. Here's Phil's Minecraft, the bravest man I've ever met. Next up, we have Technolate, one of my favorite designs. He's based off like a mixture between a bat and a pig because you don't want to draw just a pig. Ignore the legs, they're ugly. Okay, now the legs better, they're kangaroo legs. I used the reference this time. His crown, they're added with a, what do you call this? A visor face shield thing for glasses. Also, I had to draw how the legs work because they work differently than actual kangaroo legs. His clothes are based off of a security guard, but I mixed it with military style. That's why it's double-breasted, so it looks cooler, you know. The patches spell SBI, and the design is also inspired by Zool Idolish 7 Reunion's live clothes. The close-up was fun to draw, and the taser handle was for the one-handed sword. Here you can see the legs that I was talking about. If you think that the gun, the blaster, looks a lot like a toy gun, because it is, I grabbed the design of a Nerf gun. No, that's a handle, not a rotating thing. It's written there, it's Blitz, and spray painted as SBI. Yeah. And what else was I supposed to talk about? I completely forgot. Gosh, this was happening when I don't script stuff. Oh, I was supposed to make his clothes. Trying out different colors for his clothes wasn't really working out. His main color was supposed to be that bright ass red, but it wasn't working out. He was looking like a bellboy. So I'm so glad I went with the dark blue muted tones instead. Looks way cooler. He has a communicator along with Phil because I feel like they're the ones who need to call up people in an emergency. The most others can just whip out their phone instead. Here we go. Here's Techno, Blood for the Blood God. Next up, we have Wilbur Suth. He's the most human-ish looking character out of everyone, but I gave him details to make sure that he doesn't, to make sure that he still doesn't look human. There we go. I based his design off of a hedgehog and a manta ray, and I had to design his clothes with lab safety in mind. His hair is curly and soft, but when he feels like negative emotions, it spikes up. And from his side, I should have drawn this probably, but if you look at the side view, since he has like a hedgehog back thing at his back, yeah, his silhouette would look like he has like a hunchback thing, right? He has like stretchable collar thing because open shoulders won't be safe at all for lab, won't pass. Those claws actually, those gloved claws actually exist in real life. They're called badger gloves for gardening. Yeah, which is really helpful since I was worried about the whole glove thing for people with claws. Yeah. His skin is see-through but only at the torso because I decided that would be cool. To upper body specifically. And his cape thing, normally when you're born with it, it's attached to the body, but it's surgically removed at birth, like how some people pierce their baby's ears for, yeah. Because fantlings are pretty fragile when their skin, yeah. So having as much protection so you can slip armor under that would be really helpful. That, yeah. Most fantlings have this, but some probably don't, you know. Just a matter of preference. That's how it is. I think, yeah. That's here. Here's Science Boy. Here we have last one, Rambu. This was probably my favorite design, absolutely. Do not look at legs. They're awful and they're ugly. I did not use a reference. Now they're Velociraptor legs, which is far better. I based the design off of my, what do you call this? Pride Dream SMP drawing that I did earlier. And I had to modify his clothes like a lot because these clothes would not, human clothes won't fit at him at all. His face is based off of your stereotypical alien logo thing. He has a drawstring collar because so he can fit it over his big ear thing. Yeah, his ribbon is tied haphazardly because big hands, small ribbon probably won't work out that well. His sleeves are cinched up with automatic button fastens, and his pants are specially designed to open at the side with zippers. This was a pain to design because I had to talk to somebody for like 10 minutes to figure out how it would work. It works like that because he has clawed feet that he can't retract or close. Yeah, that's why he has that. And he also has like a glowing tongue because I think that look cool because he's just all glowy and stuff. Also, he has these pad things which can teleport. If he touches things, it'll disintegrate, which kinda sounds OP, but not really because the atoms would automatically want to reform, so he has to immediately decide where it'll show up, or else it'll just reform at the same part, you know? I really like how this design turned out. My favorite one, I would have to say. Big buttons for big hands in the middle, yeah. He also has like a web mouth so he can do the Enderman screech thing. Tail for balance because he was looking off balance without it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also wide hole for the big hands, which were inspired by the Q from Poa Poa. Love that, rest in peace, yeah. Here we go. These are all of the designs. There are 6 of them. T-Teeter, if you're watching this, hi. Thank you for your work. Yeah. So, sweet dreams, guys.